Okay, guys, welcome back, and this is the lecture number 11. And today we'll discuss, something very practical and foundational in accounting, and that as the sources of accounting regards, especially we're focusing now on sale and purchasing. After that, we'll discuss the remaining. So, these are the lifeblood of a business, a financial system, and understanding how they are regarded is a key to mastering accounting, right? We will start from the sales. So let's start with the sales. And you know that now accounting doesn't begin with a spreadsheet or report. It begin with a real world transaction. Someone buys something and a service is delivered, and boom, and that is where the accounting kicks in. And so, what is the first document that proves a sale has happened? So for that we have already discussed the different type of document. If you remember, there was a DN, there was a GRN, and so on like that. So what is the first document that proves that a sale happened, and that is the delivery note. And this note confirm that the goods was sent to the customer, and it doesn't show prices, just item and quantity. It's like saying that we are delivered these item, here's the proof. Okay, so based on this delivery note, the sale ledger team prepares a customer invoice, and then this is the official document that says here is what you owes us, and it includes prices, definitely, quantity, taxes, and then payment terms. So once this invoice is issued, the sale is recorded in the accounting system. And now in modern businesses, this process is often automated. They use computerized sales system that generate delivery notes and invoices, and the moment the invoice is created, so the sale is posted directly, into the accounting software. So no manual entry, no delay, right? But what if you look into the retail sales and the retail organization, so the setup is definitely is a different, and it is a different setup. Retail businesses work, is a bit differently. You have seen those, cash registers or tills at a checkout counter, right? So every time, someone buys something, the tills record the sale, whether it is a cash or card. But, the bigger store uses that we call as a EPOS system, that is electronic point of, sale. And these are the ones with the barcode scanners, and you scan an item, and the system instantly record the sales, update inventory, and send the data to the accounting system. So it's all happening in a real time. So in retail, the sale is captured the moment the customer pays, and no delivery note or invoice is needed. And so the TEL or EPOS system does it all. Uh, and what is accounting impact? If you look into the accounting impact, so these record delivery note, invoices till receipt, or the starting point of a revenue, and they feed into the sale ledger, the general ledger, and even the inventory system. So without them, your financial statement would not be complete, and you may say like that it would be incomplete or inaccurate. If you're looking from the audit perspective, so these documents are good. Auditor trace sales from the delivery note to the invoice, to the ledger, to the bank receipt, and that is your audit trail. If you are looking for the double entry, that how you will enter this in your system, so definitely debit will be your cash or account receivable. Let me write it here. There is a debit, and that will be your cash or your account receivable, and the credit will be your sale revenue. Okay, so if it's a credit sale, you debit the customer account. If it's a cash sale, you debit cash. Either way, you credit income, right? Let's move on to the other side. Now let's flip the coin and talk about the purchases, right? So when a business buy goods, okay, when a business buy goods, the first document created as the GRN, that we call it as a good received note, GRN, right? And this is completed when the good arrive at the warehouse. It confirmed that the items were received, quantity and condition, etc. But accounting for the purchase, doesn't happen until the supplier invoice arrives. So that is the document that says here is what you owe us, and it includes prices, taxes, and definitely the payment terms. for services, for services and other expenses like electricity, consultancy or rent, there is no delivery note, and a supplier invoice itself is the primary record. So at entry into the accounting system by the purchase ledger team. And again, in a modern business, this is often automated. If the company uses a computerized purchase system that is integrated with accounting, the supplier invoices enter once, and the purchase transaction is posted automatically. Now, why it matters? Why it matters? Sale and purchase, you know that, or the foundation of financial accounting. Okay, so you know why it's matter. That sale and purchase is we're discussing that these are the foundation of financial accounting, and they affect a revenue, expenses, inventory, cash flow, and ultimately profit. So if these records are missing, inaccurate, or delayed, entire financial statements suffer. And that is why businesses implement control, like uh, authorization check, system validation and reconciliation to make sure everything is accurate. So you have understand about the sale and purchases, that sales start with a delivery note invoices, or EPOS system, and retail. Purchase start with a good receive note, we call that as a GRN, and then supply invoices. Both feed into the accounting system, either manually or automatically. And these records are essential for financial reporting, audit, and compliance. Now let's move on to the another topic, and that is your payment and receipt. Okay, so in the financial cycle, payment and receipt, this is very important, and this is where the money actually moves, either coming into the business or going out. And just like sale and purchase, these transactions need to be properly documented and recorded. Okay, so the payment and receipt, we have to discuss this. First, we have to take the receipt. That what is receipt? By receipt, we means that when a business receive money, and by payment, we mean when a business pay money. Okay. So usually to supplier for the expenses. So now the question is, how do we know these transactions happen, and what documents our system give us that information? Uh, let's start from the receipt side. By receipt we mean that incoming money. Okay, receipt is your incoming money. So when a customer pay us, the most common document we get is a remittance advice. Remittance advice, and it is basically a note from the customer saying that here's the payment we have made, and here is what it is for. So it helps us make the payment to the correct invoice. And sometimes, and especially in retail or online payment, we may not get a formal remittance advice. In those cases, a bank statement or line your online banking application become our source of truth. So we check the incoming fund and match them to the customer account. If you look into the other side, that is your payment, which we mean that is your outgoing money. And when you pay supplier or settle expenses, that is your outgoing money. And these transactions are usually handled by the purchase ledger team. But before the payment is made, it is upon need to be authorized by a senior team member, like that of the other type of authorization check. And that is where the payment authorization document come in. So when the authorizing when the senior team member authorizing the payment, so and there you will get a payment authorization document, and these documents confirm that the payment is approved. They show who signed off, and how much is being paid, and to whom. So they are important for the internal control, and definitely for audit purpose. So once authorized, the payment is processed usually through bank, and again the bank statement or online banking application become a key source of information. But what are the rules of online banking? So nowadays most businesses usually online banking application to manage the payment and receipt. So I mean, most businesses using the online banking application, and why they're using, because they want to manage the payment and receipt. And these applications show real-time balances, incoming and outgoing transaction, and in allow direct transfer. So, some advanced accounting system can automatically download transaction from the bank. And so the receipt and payment are posted directly into the accounting software. But, for FA1 level understanding, we assume that, receipt and payment are entered manually and enter the accounting system. And what about account entry? How you will enter that in your system? For receipt, definitely that will be debit your cash, and credit will be your debit cash, and credit will be your account receivable. Okay. And for payment, so the debit will be your payable, and credit will be your cash or bank. Okay. So these entries ensure that the moment of money is reflected in the financial statement. Okay. And from audit and control perspective, if you look at from the audit and control perspective, then payment and receipt are very critical. Auditor want to see who authorized the payment. And definitely they'll also asking that whether the payment matches the invoice, whether the receipt matches the customer remittance invoice, and whether the bank statement confirm the transaction. So that is why the documentation and approval are so important. It's not just about recording, it's about proving that the transaction was valid. Okay. So it's about payment and receipt, and what we have understand about payment receipt as that receipts are usually backed by remittance advice or bank record. And then we have discussed that payment are backed by authorization, documents and authorization documents and bank confirmation. Online banking application are now central to managing and verifying this transaction. So whether manual or automated, these records must be entered accurately into the accounting system. Now, the final one, we have the payroll record. And we have discussed till now sale, purchases, and payment and receipt. Now, another critical area, and that is your payroll records, is related to the human resource department. So payroll isn't just about pressing a button and sending money. It's a systematic process. They start with the accurate implied data and ends with the proper accounting entry. So first we have to discuss about the role of HR, which we call as human resources. So first thing first, the HR department is responsible for maintaining record of all employees. So it means that HR department, the human resources department, is responsible for maintaining records about all employees. So that includes, name and personal detail, job title and department, pay rates, whether fixed salary or hourly paid, or employment status like junior, leavers, and something like junior and leavers, promotion, bonuses, etc. So HR is the starting point. They feed this information to the payroll department. We can calculate how much each employee should be paid, and they're definitely maybe weekly, or maybe monthly, or whatever the cycle is. And then we have, some employee or fixed salary employees. For employees on a fixed salary, the process is pretty straightforward. HR inform payroll about any changes, like, someone joining the company, leaving, getting a raise, or receiving a bonus. So when there's something happen, there's something changes, then they just inform the payroll department, and after that, they upgrading the system accordingly. And payroll, definitely, payroll then uses this data to calculate the net pay, apply tax deduction, and generate pay slip. And it is a routine cycle. It is a routine cycle, but accuracy is key. And some there is hourly paid employees, and no, now for hourly employees, things get a bit more dynamic. These employees are paid based on the number of hours they work. So the businesses need a reliable way to track those hours. Okay. And most companies use clock in and clock out system. Implies, they swipe a smart card or use a biometric system when they arrive and leave. So this data is recorded and sent to the payroll, which calculate total hours, apply the hourly rate, and process, the payment. So if someone work overtime, or take, they just took leave, that also need to be factor. And so time tracking become a critical part of payroll accuracy. And about a tax deduction, if that payroll isn't just about gross pay. Okay, it's not just about gross pay. It also handle deduction. So here the deduction, like income tax, social security, provident, provident fund, health insurance, loan repayment, or other company deduction. So now here's something important. Payroll staff must stay updated on tax rate and regulation, and these are the issue These are issued by the government and usually available on official website. If tax rate changes and payroll doesn't update, uh, then employees could be overcharged or undercharged, and that is a serious compliance issue. How about the accounting entry? So definitely that is expense. So you will debit your expense account, debit will be your salary expenses, and credit will be your bank. But here is the thing, that will be for net pay, and here you'll again credit, and that will be for tax payable, and tax payable or maybe provident fund, etc. In the support is so payroll doesn't just affect HR. It's not affect HR. It directly affect the income statement, your balance sheet. And if you're looking to the audit and compliance perspective, so from an audit perspective, payroll records are sensitive, must be accurate, and an auditor look for the proper authorization. They're looking for the proper authorization of the salary changes. They are also looking for the correct calculation of the pay and deduction. They are also looking for the timely payment of your taxes to government bodies, and also looking for the secure handling of employee data. So this is very sensitive information. That is why auditor are very concerned about it. And any errors or delay can lead to penalties, implied dissatisfaction, and reputational damages. So what we have understand about the payroll, that's HR maintain employee data, pay rates and status hours. Payroll uses this data to calculate, pay and deduction. Fact salary is simple, while we have discussed it. Hourly pay needs time tracking. Payroll must stay updated for your tax laws. And all payroll transactions are recorded in the accounting system. Accuracy and compliance and compatibility are key. That is the very important things. So what we have understand in this lecture, we have done with the sale records, whether through a delivery note or invoices, EP system, or the starting point of revenue, and they tell us that what the business sold to whom and for how much. So without accurate sale records, definitely we cannot measure income and manage inventory or prepare financial statement. Then we have discussed about the purchases. The purchases are the mirror image. It means that goods received notes and supplier invoices show what the business bought, when they have bought, and from whom. So these records feed into expense tracking, inventory of debts, and supplier balances. So they are essential for understanding cost and cash flow. Okay. Then we have discussed about the payment and receipt. That this is where the money actually moves. So remittance advices, payment authorization, and bank statement confirm that transaction was settled, whether it's a customer paying us or us paying a supplier. So these records ensure that the accounting system reflect reality, not just intention. Then we have discussed about the payroll record, and payroll record we discussed that is in bringing the human at the human side. So when employee works on and get paid, and every step must be documented. So HR provides the data, payroll calculate the pay, and accounting record the expenses. So it's not just about salary, it's about compliance, tax, and trust. So why it's all matter together, all these four areas which we have discussed, this is the foundation of financial accounting, and they ensure that every rupees on or spent is backed by evidences, and there's a proper recording and ready for audit. So they protect the business from errors, fraud, and legal trouble, and they give the decision maker the clarity they need to lead. So if you are preparing this exam, FA1 exam, so this is a very important lecture. Thank you for watching.